Welcome everybody to Cheap Pops.
I'm Nick.
I'm Dave, and I don't know why LaParca's here, but...
It's ICP LaParca.
Okay. This is not going to be a normal episode for us. Normally we discuss wrestling and movies and stuff like that. This is going to be mostly about ICP. If you're not a juggalo, if you don't really care about ICP, I mean, I've got the Great Malenko, not bad jersey for $35, but...
And I got the hoodie for $35.
But it does tie to wrestling, because they were a part of wrestling. He actually picked this episode. He wanted to do ICP, and I'm not a big fan of their current stuff.
And we can call this a Nick's Pick episode.
Okay, I like it. I'm not a big fan of like the new artists and the newer Joker cards that they've had. It's just I think it's gone downhill, to be honest. But when you're talking old school, I first saw ICP on SummerSlam 1998. I don't know about you.
Yes, it was SummerSlam.
And then I sought out their music, and the first album I bought was The Great Malenko, because that was the one they were advertising on WWF. And I loved it instantly. I had never heard any of their stuff before, but just basing it on the Oddities theme song, that they did, it was at that point, I was, 98, I was 17. So I was the perfect age for starting to listen to Insane Clown Posse. And then I went and I bought Riddlebox, and Riddlebox is my favorite.
Case in point?
Yes, I have the Riddlebox on my arm. And The Great Malenko, I think, is their best album, but Riddlebox is my favorite. And I'm not really a fan of the Carnival of Carnage or Ringmaster. I'll listen to a couple songs off of those, but I think they really hit their stride with Riddlebox. I don't know about you. What's your favorite?
It's hard to say. I like a lot of them. I want to say my favorite has to be the frickin' Christmas album, because that one makes me laugh a lot with a lot of the songs on there.
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of EPs like that, and like Terror Wheel and Tunnel of Love, stuff like that. And they did like the Hollow Wicked, albums, and isn't it Beverly Kills 90?
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, they were the Inner City Posse in 91. They had their Dog Beats EP. And then they became Insane Clown Posse with Carnival of Carnage in 92. Ringmaster was 94. And then they started Psychopathic Records, and they did Riddlebox, and then The Great Malenko in 97. And I also wanted to mention the Shockumentary. This is on YouTube. This was in between Riddlebox and Great Malenko. They did a documentary on ICP, and they called it the Shockumentary. And there's a lot of music from the upcoming Great Malenko on it. There's music videos on it. And they have people talking about, like, ICP's the Antichrist and stuff like that. And, like, they did a focus group, and people were talking about, that this was, like, the coming of the Antichrist and stuff, which I thought was pretty damn funny. I mean, if you listen to their music, yes, they talk about, like, necrophilia and, the devil and all that stuff. But if you don't know anything about them, they're Christians, you know what I mean? And
well, we are here, and G-Pops are wondering, what kind of sick fuck will steal 6 dead bodies?
Yeah. I mean, it just, their music is it's horrorcore, it's horror rap. And
yes.
I mean, they have like clowns and flames and it's just they're clowns. Like,
yes.
Like Violent J said once, I could slip on my ass on stage and it doesn't matter because I'm a clown. That's perfect. And then the Amazing Jekyll Brothers came out in 99, and that's when my fandom really started to hit. I loved that, and I was seeking out everything. And then like the Bizarre album, double album came out. Yep. And of course that Bizarre and Bizarre weren't part of the Joker cards. The 6 Jokers cards were the Carnival of Carnage, the Ringmaster, Riddlebox, Great Malenko, Amazing Jekyll Brothers, and then the Wraith. And the Wraith was 2 different albums. It was Shangri-La and Hell's Pit. And if you want to know more about ICP, seek this out. It's on YouTube. The seminar from the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2002. It's like, I think it's like an hour long, and Violent J runs through pretty much the entire history of ICP and then talks about the upcoming Wraith album. And if you want to hear his perspective on how things happened, it's a really great thing to listen to. But go watch the shockumentary, definitely. If you can find, do you have the Stranglemania DVD with you?
Yes.
If you can find that, get that. I mean, it's a Japanese DVD that ICP does commentary over.
And hey, Mick Foley won the lawsuit because they used his likeness in it and called him Cactus Sacks.
Yep. And Terry Funk is on it, and it's basically ICP just doing funny commentary, just like in the first JCW DVDs 1, 2, and 3. ICP is doing commentary over horrible matches.
Yes.
It's just really funny.
I have to say my favorite thing that they called somebody in this was Lama Nama Numi.
Yeah. But I mean, they did Slam TV. They did Bloody Mania. They've done wrestling for over 20 years.
Yeah, they were doing wrestling before WWF.
No, not ICP.
Yes, that's what they were saying, that they trained for wrestling before WWF.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant before WWF was around. Okay,
No.
I gotcha.
Nope, before they came, they did training and everything.
Yep. But I like the Forgotten Freshness CDs that they have. There's like 5 of them, I think. And it's just, they have so much of a catalog. Like, if you could download I actually have this on a hard drive. The Psychopathic Records catalog with all of their stars, I have like over 12 gigabytes of stuff just from, it's just, I mean, they have Dark Lotus with ICP, Twisted, Blaze, and at first it was Mars, and then they did a reissue with Anybody Killer replacing Mars. But they do the Supervillains group, Psychopathic Riders, Twisted, Blaze, ABK Boondocks, Zug Island, the Axe Murder Boys. They do the Gathering of the Juggalos every year, which is a huge, just a festival with like carnival rides and wrestling shows and,
oh my God,
and concerts all night long.
How fucking great would it be to go to that?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if at this point, if I'd want to go, but it would be, I mean, it's got to be a cool atmosphere, but I don't think I'm into the culture enough now where I'd want to do that, but maybe back in the day when I was a huge fan, I definitely would. But I mean, Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J have solo albums. Shaggy 2 Dope had Fuck Off, Fuck the Fuck Off, Fuck the Fuck Off Motherfucker, Professor Shags and the Quest for the Ultimate Groove. Violent J had Wizard of the Hood and The Shining. The Wizard of the Hood is a concept album where he goes to like the land of Oz, and all of the Psychopathic Records, people are different people from Oz. I think it's really, really cool.
What I have to say, my favorite album that Violent J did is the one with where it has Hulk Hogan's face on it.
I have not heard that one. I recently saw a picture of that. I have not heard that one. I'll definitely have to check that out.
Then I have to say my favorite album, single album from Shaggy is the one where he's like this and the fire is coming down on him.
Oh yeah, that's Fuck the Fuck Off. That's actually not Fire, it's Fago.
Oh, it is Fago?
It's Fago, yeah. Which we have on the table. $1.25 at the Dollar Tree for a 4-pack. I was like, I'm not going to drink it, but I thought it would be cool to have on the table. For $1.25, I don't really care that much.
Call your mama and get that bitch to go head to the store and get you a Fago.
But we have Vampiro from when they were the Dark Carnival on WCW. And then Golga and Kurgan from the Oddities. They did so much in wrestling. But what do you like any of the other Psychopathic artists, or are you mostly into ICP?
Mostly ICP.
Okay, I like Psychopathic Riders when they do basically gangster rap.
I haven't heard any of the other ones, and I want to actually sit down and listen to them.
Right. I'm not really into Twisted. I like some of their stuff, but I'm not. I never got into them. I like some of Blaze. I like some of ABK. A couple of songs off of Boondocks, and the only song I like from Zug Island is Sunny Day. The Axe Murder Boys, the only album I like is the first one they had was Blood In, Blood Out. Like I said, I like the solo stuff. Dark Lotus had 3 different albums. The first one was Tales from the Lotus Pod. The second one was Black Rain, and I think the third one was called The Opaque Brotherhood. I like Black Rain and I like Tales from the Lotus Pod. I'm not really big on the Opaque Brotherhood, but it's an acquired taste. Like, you know, you either like ICP or you don't. There's no wishy-washy there.
There's no in-between on that.
But they pretty much, they would keep everybody in the organization would be collaborating on everybody else's albums. They would be doing guest spots on everybody else's stuff. It's hard to pin down. I mean, because they don't just do their music. They do wrestling. They do movies. We're going to talk about the movies.
Shall I bring out one of them?
Sure. I mean, they have crap loads of merchandise. Like, it's just
one of my favorite ones.
Yep.
You like the Big Money, not wrestling.
Hustlers.
Yep. Big Money Hustlers.
Now we might as well go into that right now. It's Big Baby Sweets and is Violent J, and then
Big Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear is Shaggy 2 Dope. And then you have Big Stank and Little Poot, Jamie Madrox and Monoxide Child from Twisted, and like Fred Barry rerun from What's Happening is in the movie. Harlan Williams plays a big part in the movie. He plays a cop. Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys plays the police chief, and he's awesome. He wears a fat suit through the whole thing.
Yes, and it's...
and Kamal from the Jerky Boys is also in it. Rudy Ray Moore, who plays Dolomite, is in there. And Mick Foley as Cactus Sack is in there as well.
I want to find one of those shirts because I want one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a well-produced movie. It's funny. And when you go back and watch it, I laugh at it now. But it's so poorly produced, but it's ICP's humor, and that's, you know.
I got one thing to say. Where's my motherfucking money?
Also, the Misfits are in it. All of the Misfits are in it too. If you get the DVD of Big Money Hustlers, listen to the commentary track that has Violent J on it. It is tremendous. He goes into all the the backstage stuff, and it's just.
I got to see if I can find that on DVD.
I mean, you can find them on eBay. It's not always cheap, but you can definitely find them. But
well, I got this one for a good price.
But you like that one better?
Yes, right? I do. I love this one.
It's a Western, and I mean the co-stars: Jason Mewes, Bridget Nielsen, Jimmy Hart, Tom Sizemore, Scott Hall, Vanilla Ice, Jimmy Walker, Ron Jeremy before everybody knew the bad stuff about him.
Yes.
Dustin Diamond, Sabu, and somebody that I didn't notice until I looked up the cast. Scott D'Amore from TNA was in the movie as well.
What?
I didn't notice him at all. But it's basically the same characters. It's not Sugar Bear, it's Sugar Wolf.
Yep.
Yeah, and is it big? I can't remember what was it. Big Baby or
Big Baby something.
Is it on here? Big Baby Chips,
yeah,
is Violent J, and Raw Stank and Dusty Poot instead of Big Stank and Little Poot. Scott Hall was actually in this a good amount.
Yes,
I was really happy with Jimmy Hart being in there.
I have to say, I lost it, meaning died laughing when they're in the freaking prison cell and he's backhanding them.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, I thought Big Money Rustlers, it was shot better. It was more of a real movie because it was done in 2010, so it was HD, and they really had a better script for this one. I just preferred the humor of the first one. So you said SummerSlam '98 was the first time you saw them, right?
Yes.
Did you watch a lot of their stuff in WWF?
Bits and pieces, because they didn't really last very long in WWF.
They didn't. They eventually turned on the oddities and went with the headbangers for a little bit. And then they went to WCW and formed a group with Raven and Vampiro called the Deadpool. And, of course, the one match that everybody talks about, Road Wild 1999 versus the Filthy Animals.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman, and Eddie Guerrero. That was a really good match.
It really was.
Raven didn't really wrestle much in the match. It was mostly ICP. Or maybe it was ICP and Vampiro with, like, Raven on the outside,
yes.
I think, maybe. This was right before Raven went right back to ECW. So.
Yeah, so at this point, it just didn't give a fuck.
Right, but Road Wild also was the Macho Man against Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, oh my god, that was such a great freaking match.
Porta potty. Yeah, so ICP didn't really do a lot at this point in WCW, but then in 2000 they came back and formed the Dark Carnival with Vampiro and the Great Muta, and I think they had the Demon in there at one point.
Yeah, I think so.
For a short time. But at Fall Brawl 2000, this isn't on any of the WWE stuff right now because they haven't uploaded any of the WCW.
I wish that they would.
Right, they've done individual matches from Fall Brawl 2000, but they haven't done the whole thing. In a match between Vampiro, the Great Muta, and Sting, ICP comes out and does commentary in their JCW personas as Big Guido and 3D Diamond Donovan Douglas. And it's ridiculous. They call Sting stank and stung, and it's just if you don't know their humor, you're not going to get it. But it's just they shout JCW through the whole thing because Vampiro was the JCW champion at that point.
I can't sit and watch the wrestling one where they're doing commentary because I just die laughing every time.
It's really any of their JCW DVDs are crazy. But at one point, Shaggy 2 Dope wrestles Mike Awesome, and they're on top of the Partridge Family bus that they had because Mike Awesome was that 70s guy at that point. Oh, my
God.
And it's on in the September 25th, 2000 episode of Nitro. And what happens to Shaggy 2 Dope?
He falls off the bus. He wasn't thrown off. He fell off it.
Mike Awesome gave him
an awesome bomb.
Yep, and on the top of the bus. And Shaggy slid off the top of the bus and landed on the concrete floor. Props to Mike Awesome. He tried to catch him. He tried to grab his leg and stop him from falling, but he fell anyways. They were in WCW for a pretty good while in 2000, and mostly with Vampiro. They never seemed to stick anywhere, because they were doing their own stuff, but... I mean, if they could pick up a contract and, and make money that way, I'm sure they were down to do it. They also were in ECW for a little bit at Hardcore Heaven 97. They did a musical performance, and then they were attacked by Rob Van Dam and Sabu. So, I mean, they love wrestling. I remember Mike Tenay saying the first thing they bought when they got their check for Great Malenko was they bought a wrestling ring. And they even made a couple appearances in TNA as well.
Yes.
It's is it Turning Point 2007, maybe? It is a pay-per-view in 2007. They come out, it's Scott Hall, Violent J, Shaggy 2 Dope, and a couple of their JCW wrestlers. They come out with JWO jerseys on, and they sit in the front row of a TNA pay-per-view for a couple matches, and then they end up leaving. But it's just cool to know that they did stuff with TNA as well. So, I don't know. What do you have any favorite songs of ICP or anything like that?
One of them is actually My Alarm, from the Shaggy Keep Scrubbing.
Yep, that's a good song.
I absolutely love Fuck the World.
Yeah, that's from Jekyll Brothers, absolutely. Yep. I gotta say Chicken Huntin' is definitely up there. The remix version of Hocus Pocus that's on the Forgotten Freshness album is really, really good. I gotta say the whole Great Malenko album is amazing. All of the Riddle Box. I mean, it's all on YouTube and Spotify and stuff. Just go through, I'm not saying everybody's gonna like their music. They're just not. But I like the Wraith. Any of the Joker cards, to be honest.
Yes.
For like I said, for Carnival of Carnage and Ringmaster, for me, it wasn't there. But once Riddle Box it hit, it was amazing. I really love the wrestling. I mean, the stuff they did with the oddities. I didn't grab. I should have grabbed it. There's a really cool WWF magazine cover with them and the oddities on it. I do have the actual magazine. I just forgot to grab it.
Yeah, and you did post it already.
And Luna Vachon is on the cover because she was part of the oddities. Golga, who was Earthquake under a mask. Kurgan, and the Giant Silva. Giant Silva was like 7 foot something, 7'7", I think, and Kurgan was like 7 feet tall. So, and then when they went to WCW, they, the stuff with Vampiro would wear the face paint just like he is on the action figure. He would wear the shirts, the jerseys and stuff. And Great Muta, he would paint his face black like he normally would, but he would come out, he wouldn't wear any, ICP stuff, but he was part of the Dark Carnival, so. And Raven was he was in it, but he wasn't really, he wasn't really wearing the stuff like Vampiro was. But Vampiro was always a part of JCW. He would always do stuff with ICP. ICP did the entrance music for the Oddities, and they did entrance music for Vampiro as well, which is on Forgotten Freshness Volume 3, and I think it's a really good song as well.
I love Vampiro's entrance song.
Yeah, I mean, I like his Misfits one, and all that stuff, but I prefer the ICP one. It's called Take It. It's on the WCW Mayhem album, but the one on Forgotten Freshness is uncensored, which is what I like better.
And I have it on my playlist.
Yep. Did you ever get any of their EPs or anything like that?
EPs, what?
Like Terror Wheel or the smaller albums, not the Joker cards. No.
I gotta see if they are on Spotify though.
They probably are. So JCW is their wrestling organization, and they've had it for years. I think the first time I remember seeing it was in 2000. But now they actually legit have a wrestling company that is on YouTube.
Yep, and I've been watching a lot of it.
It's called JCW Lunacy, and you had picked episode number 1, and
just saying.
And we were going to talk about it in the last episode, but we saved it for this. I love the look of the set in the ring.
Yeah,
it's a feast for your eyes. There's just colors and like wavy lines and stuff everywhere. They use licensed music. I'm not saying that they license it, but it's mainstream music. Violent J is the commissioner. The first match of the first episode was Danny Moe versus Alice Crowley. I thought it was a very good opening match. Danny Moe got the win with a top rope crossbody. JCW tag titles, the Brothers of Funstruction, which is a couple of clowns, versus Facade and Caleb Conley. I know Caleb Conley from Northeast Wrestling. I saw him for many years wrestling in Northeast Wrestling. He also wrestled in Impact for a while, back in like 2015, 2016, I believe. It was comedy at first because the Brothers of Funstruction are clowns. It's going to be comedy at first, but it got into a real tag match. Caleb Conley ended up super kicking his own partner, and the Brothers of Funstruction retained the tag titles. They did a Shaggy Spotlight where he did like a thing from his Shaggy show. They had the Southern Six, Silas Mason, Alex Taylor, and Kerry Morton. Kerry Morton is the son of Ricky Morton. And then they did highlights with ICP music. And this was one that was only 45 minutes for the show. The main event was the Southern Six versus Willie Mack, who was the JCW champion, Matt Cross, and Santana Jackson. Santana Jackson is like Michael Jackson cosplay. More of a regular six-man tag than I thought it would be. Silas pinned Jackson after a black hole slam. James Storm appeared and attacks Ricky Morton, but the other ones pull him out. So, a good first episode. Yeah, it was cool to see James Storm show up.
It was awesome seeing the backstage stuff with what was going on with WCW with the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great seeing Vito again.
Yeah, that's what I just watched the current episode 87. They did a recap, and then like Vince Russo, Vito, EC3, Joel Gertner. They're starting to get some names involved with it, which is cool. Joel Gertner manages Big Money Josh Bishop.
Well.
Kerry Morton's calling himself Mr. JCW, and he ended up with a title match with Josh Bishop. There's a women's wrestler called J-Rod. She attacks Danny Moe backstage. They fought through the crowd to the ring, and they did a quick women's ladder match for the women's title. Danny Moe won the title. It was a good match. I mean, they had the crappy, like, aluminum ladders, but it was still pretty cool. Tag title #1 contenders match. JP and Tommy Grayson, the Backseat Boys, versus Choppa City. I thought it was a good tag match. Choppa City won, so they're now the #1 contenders. Alice Crowley called out Ho-Kane. I had no idea who Ho-Kane was, but come to find out the champion of Lunacy is a guy named Cocaine. So Ho-Kane is this obsessed fan. Vince Russo has this obsession with the obsessed fan. Think about this. 1999, who was the obsessed fan? Tori with Sable.
Yes.
Daphne in WCW, that was Russo. Peyton Banks in TNA, that's Vince Russo. He loves the obsessed fan.
And then they did it again with Mickey James.
Yeah, but that wasn't Russo.
Yeah, that wasn't Russo.
But still, the influence was there. They had a wrestler called the Ring Rat. It's basically a girl that's playing I mean, if you know what a ring rat is, she's basically calling herself a slut and everything, which is just...
Slut.
Yeah, it's just whatever. They have a guy named Stephen Flo, who, I mean, it's a takeoff of Even Flow from Alice in Chains, or not Alice in Chains. Yeah, Alice in Chains. And he's wearing, like, the grunge stuff, so instead of the Even Flow, it's Stephen Flow, which I think is kind of funny. And Cocaine was out there as well. The JCW title, now this is different than the JCW Lunacy title. JCW title is the original title, and Josh Bishop has it. Matt Cardona retired it when he was the champion, and then they brought in the Lunacy title. So Kerry Morton versus Josh Bishop. EC3 got involved, and Bishop wins and retains the title. I didn't expect Kerry Morton to win the title on this show. And then the Luciano family, they had Luigi Primo as part of it, which is great. If you don't know who Luigi Primo is, Google it. He spins like a pizza dough and all this stuff in his, and he has a Louis Prima song. This is great. It's just great. It's a character. I mean, he's like Orange Cassidy. He's like Danhausen. It's a complete character, but you put him with the Mafia family, it's pretty funny. And if you know who Big Vito is from WCW, and ECW,
and the Mamalukes.
Yeah, they ended up attacking Luigi Primo, and Violent J came out to help, and he got beat down. And then Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack came out to help Violent J. Violent J's all in on this. I haven't seen Shaggy one bit on any of these shows, but Violent J is all in on it. So. And then for the main event for the JCW Lunacy title, Caleb Conley, he came out with Vince Russo against Cocaine. Russo was on commentary, which is just god-awful. But very good match. Conley won with help from Vince Russo, new JCW Lunacy champion Caleb Conley. I want to watch more JCW Lunacy. This episode was 2 hours, so that's a big bump up from 45 minutes. I'd love to know how much money they're spending on it. Because for just to be on YouTube,
right?
They have sponsors, like they do actually have commercials in it, so they do have sponsors. But I don't know if their music and all their merchandise is making enough for them to do wrestling.
Merchandising.
But they are. So yeah, if you can get a hold of the first 3 JCW DVDs, I would highly recommend it. They're really, really good. They're really. I mean, the matches aren't good. But the commentary is hilarious.
The commentary is worth it.
But you can get, like, the Slam TV episodes. They do the Bloody Mania DVDs. I don't know if they do them actually on ICP's website anymore, but you can get them on eBay pretty cheap. So
I want to say the only really good match that they had was Cactus Jack and Terry Funk.
Yeah, because that's on the Stranglemania DVD.
Yeah,
absolutely. But watch the Shockumentary. Seek out their WCW and WWF matches. and watch SummerSlam '98. That's on Netflix. They don't do the musical entrance
because it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't.
But you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know if they just don't have the rights to it anymore, but it kind of sucks to have ICP coming out with the oddities and they're not playing the original music. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, watch their WCW stuff. Do you have anything you want to add about ICP?
No.
I mean, I have notes. Other than you know, just going through their albums, it's just. I mean, they had a lot of people on their label.
I wish that they would do another movie.
I would too. Yeah, I think. I mean, you can do them on iPhones now. It's not like they need movie cameras and shit to do it. It just I think they're both in their 50s now. So I did. Oh, I might as well go ahead.
The one thing I did learn about why they took a step back from doing a lot of their tours and everything. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that Violent J had a heart problem.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He does. Which is, if you watch the latest episode of JCW Lunacy, when he starts getting beat down, he just kind of slumps over. He doesn't really take a bump, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But I actually went to an ICP show.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, it was in 2002. It was right after they had released the Wraith album, and I think Anybody Killa was opening for them. And if you don't know about them, they bring 2 liters of Faygo with them to all their shows, and they just douse the entire crowd with Faygo all night long. And I painted my face. This was before I was wearing glasses. And I painted my face like Violent J, and I went with a friend of mine, and we had a good time. Music was great, but at one point, some of the crowd got up on the stage. This was near the end of the show, and they knocked over the speaker stacks, and they blocked the emergency exit, and the fucking security went ape shit. They were pushing people back so they could move the speakers, because if something happened and the emergency exits were blocked, they were fucked.
Yes.
Because people were drunk, the Faygo was everywhere, so if people had to start running out of the building, they would have been slipping everywhere and landed on the concrete floor. It would have been a complete fucking mess. And I said I didn't I'm not really into Twisted, but I was like, back then I was heavy into the ICP and the culture. So I went and saw Twisted at the end of 2002 as well. I think it was on their Mirror Mirror tour. I know I have the shirt somewhere. And Blaze opened up for them, and I think ABK was supposed to be there as well, but he had something wrong in his family. So Blaze did an extra long set, and then Twisted did their set. It was really cool to see. It was at a place called Northern Lights in I think Clifton Park. It's not there anymore. It was a great place for concerts. It was really cool to see ICP. They didn't have this face paint at those shows. They had more colorful face paint where they changed up the look a little bit.
When they used to do red and everything like that.
And Shaggy had gold. It was because the Wraith was the final Joker card, so they changed up the face paint a little bit. And if you buy the Wraith album, and if you take the disc out, they actually have Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope without their face paint, but they have blood dripping down their face, so you can see their face, and you know. But I mean, if you can look and see, Violent J does TikTok videos without the face paint all the time. So
it's very hard to find one with Shaggy without his face paint.
Yeah, but I mean, you can find them. I mean, it's not.
I do want to show these
go ahead.
off.
You go right ahead, man.
That came in a pro wrestling crate.
Because this was not going to be a long episode.
No.
There's just there's only so much you can say. I have that as well. Oh yeah, the micro brawlers. Yeah, yep. Those. I
freaking love these.
Yeah, they were really cool out of the pro wrestling crate. ICP has action figures out there if you want to find them.
They're very hard to find though.
They are. I'm surprised they don't do it more often. I'm surprised they haven't signed a deal with a major. I think they've done stuff with Matt Cardona's company, but I'm surprised they don't get a Mattel deal and they don't do Attitude Era ICP action
Oh my god,
figures.
it would be so awesome.
How cool would that be for Monday Night War series?
Yes.
You do a Build-A-Figure of Violent J and you do a Build-A-Figure of Shaggy Two-Dope to go along with
How
Golga.
freaking fast would those sell?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it would be non-stop selling. I enjoy their music. I mean, we listen to it on the drive here.
Yes.
Check out the Joker cards, and I mean, check out their wrestling matches. It's just, I've said it, but it's just really, I mean, the Psychopathic Records catalog is deep. Like I said, I'm not really into, the stuff they have now. I never really liked Ishan the Unholy, but they've done, like, collaborations with, like, the 3-6 Mafia, Vanilla Ice. They've done...
just recently, they did a collaborative one called Swish.
Okay.
I think it was Swish. I gotta send it to you.
But like they have Snoop Dogg on the Amazing Jekyll Brothers. They have a whole album called Featuring Freshness where they have all their songs that have guest stars on them. On the Psychopathic from Outer Space, there's a song called Dead End with Ice Cube, or not Ice Cube, Ice-T.
Nice.
It's a really good song. I would highly. And the Psychopathics from Outer Space, there's 3 of those. They have a bunch of remix albums that are really, really good. I would highly recommend The Great Malenko because that's what got me into it. Not everybody's going to love it. It's just, like I said, you either love them or you hate them.
Yes.
And I kind of want to dive into the latest, Joker cards that they've done just to kind of revisit it and see if maybe giving it a second listen would really help, but they're newer artists. I'm not. I mean, Blaze isn't on the anymore. ABK's not. Twisted left a long time ago.
And I kind of wish that they would reconcile.
Me too. I mean, but stuff happens. You know what I mean? Like I had a friend that was my ride or die for 10 years, and then we had a falling out, and I haven't talked to him since. You know what I mean? So it happens. But just to go from a small EP called Dog Beats in '91 to hustling on your own. The only major record deal they had was they signed with Hollywood Records, which was owned by Disney, and they put out The Great Malenko, and the same day they pulled it off the shelves because Disney found out what was on the album.
Yep.
But at that point, they had already gotten paid for the album, and there was a bidding war because the publicity was so big, so they got to choose which distributor they wanted. So, they've built their own label. They've had merchandise. Their merchandise sells like crazy.
Yes.
Their logos are badass. I'm sorry. That's a badass logo. Their stuff is great.
Yes. Come on.
Their stuff is so recognizable. It's just, Juggalos have gotten a bad rap. There's a lot of just, scumbag juggalos out there. But when I've seen somebody see my tattoo, I've always had people, or if I'm listening to ICP in my car and people hear it, there's a lot of fans out there that are just good people.
Yes.
But like any fan group, you're going to have assholes that make it bad for everybody else, just like wrestling fans. There's good wrestling fans, and then there's shitty fans that make it worse for everybody else. But, yeah, check out ICP. This was just a special episode for us to talk about, that we enjoy their music, we enjoy their wrestling, and Stranglemania, Bloody Mania, JCW. Take 45 minutes out of, your day and watch the first episode on YouTube and see if it's something you want to watch. Especially if you're a wrestling fan. It's a legit wrestling company now. They're not doing comedy matches just to do comedy matches like they were back in the day. They're actually making themselves a legit wrestling company on YouTube, and Vince Russo is the booker. They're legit now, you know what I mean? And that's great. So
play us off, buddy.
Oh, are we going? We're going there?
Yep.
All right. See, if this isn't your thing, well, so what? I'm sorry, but we're gonna go at Cheap Pop Show on social media. cheappops.redbubble.com for.
Merchandising.
cheappopshow.com. Thanks for checking us out.
Pop guys out.